Hi everyone and welcome to this week's Cyber Risk Engineering. What do processes and controls have in common? This is what we're here to discuss today. Look at some of the KPCs, Key Procedural Controls, and the definitions we can have based on processes around them. I often get asked the question, how do we go from processes to controls? So how do we go from a swim lane diagram, as the one that we described last week, to a definition of controls, and specifically key procedural controls, those that really make the difference within your organization. So I'm using the analogy that we had last week, and I'm going to focus on an example to take you through how you can derive KPCs from swim lane diagrams. Continuing the example of the bug bounty program, we want to verify whether or not a developer has basically accepted a bug fix based on the submission of a hacker. This is what the diagram shows. And in order to do that, we also want to make sure that we've strengthened that process to the level where, if so, there is a control that we're reporting against it. Perhaps this control is procedural. So how would we go about defining that? So processes are made up of activities. Those are the individual steps that need to be carried out in order for the process to function. Straightforward, right? Then if we look at certain types of activities where a rhombus exists in that notation that we're using, BPMN, then you have basically a point where a decision is being made. And there's different types of decisions, and these are described as gateways. Now, depending on the outcome of the decision, the change of flow, and depending also on how technical you want to get, there are different types of gateways. But the thing to take away is that decisions involve gateways whereby a path can change in terms of what happens in the process flow. Why is that important for us in this example? Because we as an organization decide whether or not to update the software based on a report that we received from a hacker. That's what the diagram depicts. So I would argue that that decision point is a key decision point, and therefore we need a key procedural control to support it. A very important thing to note is that not all decision points, not all rhombuses in the process flow diagram are control points, and only a subset of those are going to be selected as key procedural controls. So how do you go about deciding whether or not a decision point is a key one? Well, it's based on the output, the type of energy, the investment your organization is putting behind that. A general rule of thumb is a 1 to 5. So for 5 decision points that you have, you typically want 1 KPC, even though that's rough mathematics. So take it with a pinch of salt. So there you have it. That's how you link processes to controls. Thank you for watching.